2023 was a bit harder period. We felt that we started to lose our market position.
It allowed us in 8 years to become one of the top proxy provider in the market.
From an unknown brand to one of the leading players in the proxy infrastructure and data extraction market. From legal battles with brand impersonators to global recognition by industry experts. From smart proxy to Decodo. This is their story. If we were to go back to the roots of Decodo, how did it all start? What problem were you trying to solve back then?
The Decodo story started in 2018. So basically at that moment we saw an opportunity for solopreneurs and small businesses, their tech teams, to give a solution that top enterprise customers are using.
Initially, in the first few years for Decodo, was that we were selling to the end users. And that was a rather big contrast from other B2B companies, especially in the proxy market, where a lot of them were selling top-down.
How would you define the cultural DNA of Decodo, the mentality?
From the beginning, I think the key element was resilience. We come to work like we have something to prove. At the same time, I think ownership was a very important element for us. Personally, I always have this saying, I don't like to have very clear boundaries. I like to have a bit of chaos and an unclarity.
I always say that it's a very good place to test yourself in different scenarios, in different tasks.
Do we then have examples of the hustler mentality that I've heard of?
The hustler mentality, it's about, I think, questioning the status quo all the time, or thinking what if and experimenting.
Our solution is very global, so basically there are stories when the sales account management team going to vacation, but they are, for example, on the ending cycle of closing the deal. So they are bringing their laptops and closing the deals during the trips.
How would you define the working environment, the internal work culture?
What I'm seeing here and what I love here is that there is a balance, because we can be very fast, we can be sometimes maybe gambling or going some extremes, but at the same time there are people who always say like, okay, sit down, let's talk about this. It allowed us in 8 years to become one of the top proxy provider in the market.
During all the process and all the hustler mentality, I think it's very important to stop and reflect in regards of celebrating your milestones and wins. So in our previous office, I still remember our bigger releases. We were popping champagnes. The cork would hit the ceiling, and then we marked and put a signature there in regards of who was celebrating that specific.
Would you remember a moment where you failed or you thought you would just fail?
2023 was a bit harder period for us in regards of overall performance metrics. We felt that we started to lose our market position. We saw a slowdown, which was something new from our experience, and even decrease, which I started to call negative growth.
When I joined 3.5 years ago, in essence, we were competing against 2 providers who offered similar quality, while in 2023, the playing field widened to like 8-9 providers. So we really needed to sit down and think of how we can stand out in this changed environment.
Could you tell us what people still misunderstand about proxies and data scraping?
One would be that web scraping is something that's rather niche, technical, and kind of difficult to understand how it fits into the end business value chain of our customers. So that's one misunderstanding. The other is just the general bad press, bad coverage that web scraping sometimes gets. To be fair, that has been changing in recent years. As I mentioned at the beginning, the big thing is generative AI. Due to it, web scraping has been getting a lot more media coverage, a lot more discussion. The other thing is that other more mature use cases of web scraping have been getting more and more popular, and people are kind of getting a better understanding.
Your industry is very complex and requires education or even legal battles. Would you remember or would you single out the biggest battle that you had to fight?
when you think of scraping industry and the industry that we work in, one normally thinks that, okay, well, this is where the legal battles are coming from, the product, the service that we provide, but actually no. Our biggest legal fights were over our smart proxy brand. When Chinese squatter, proxy provider, a competitor in a way, squatted our smart proxy name.
How did you find out about this?
The squatting itself is like, you just go to like smartproxy.cn and it's not your website.
Yeah. Okay. So that was fast.
Yeah.
You've realized it quickly.
Yeah, we realized that quickly, though the fight took us considerable amount of, energy and work. But even though we were fighting with these Chinese squatters, at the same time we were in a positioning project that we were doing.
It was an evolution of who we are as a company, and then we started to see that the brand Smart Proxy does not reflect anymore who we are. The Chinese squatter situation and the legal battles, it kind of just accelerated the decision to have the rebrand.
Smart Proxy becoming Decodo. Did everyone easily get used to the new identity? Mykolas, what would you say?
Starting from the end, the answer is yes. I think it went really smoothly. First of all, so we wanted to find a name that, felt like it was ours. It had to be technical, so it would appeal to our technical audience. As we talked, it had to be meet all the legal requirements to have all the trademarks, etc. And also, while we work globally, it had to appeal to all our global audiences from USA, Europe to Asia. First months after rebrand, especially, we generated a lot of buzz in the market. Our customers and our clients reacted positively. We got lots of encouraging messages from them.
What about the visual identity? How did you come up with that?
For visual parts, we had two main criteria. So one was it had to match our positioning on being the most efficient provider. So it had to be user-friendly, easy to understand, easy to grasp this complex contents in split of a second. And then second thing, it had to be evolution rather than revolution. We are one of the biggest brands, and then we did not want to shock our customers too much.
If we were to name a few more dates that would be important for this brand, apart from the rebranding bit, what would you say, Vaidotas?
So a big date for us was 23 February, when we joined Ethical Web Data Collection Initiative. Another big date for us was 2023 as a year, because during that year we really expanded our product portfolio. Another big date is summer 2024, when we joined Tesonet group, and we joined this ecosystem, this network of like-minded businesses where we can exchange learnings, experiences, and that really helped to accelerate our further growth. And the last bigger date, not specific month, but kind of first half, I would say, of this year, is because we started to get major media coverage.
Lastly, let's get a glimpse into the future, and let's see what are the key points that you're focusing with Decodo now.
This is one of the most exciting times that we are in regards of product innovation and market. Of course, everyone is leveraging AI term, but to be honest, for myself, I see so much growth potential there, and the internet behavior is changing so much. But from our key points, I think core element as a leading brand and product line within this proxy and scraping product market for us is really how we can deepen our product portfolio. In regards, we focus a lot on more vertical development, making our products much better, improving their success rate, speed, all the technical needs that our customers asks us. Upcoming 2-3 years will be one of the most exciting ones.
Thank you very much for sharing your sincere experiences, your attitude, your hustler mentality examples. Thank you for sharing that with us today. So thank you, everybody, and thank you for watching. See you next time.